How can you 1 minute say the government wastes money and next minute say let's pay more money because we think they can do a better job with it?
Because I think that both things are true.
It doesn't work that way.
I think about
Patrick Bet-David just absolutely detonated on the woke nonsense brought to his show. I mean, this is exactly why people love Patrick Bet-David. Sharp, direct, and zero patience for BS. The founder of Ben & Jerry's came on thinking he could just toss around vague statements about compassion and racial justice. And Patrick Bet-David wasn't having any of it. We got contradictions. We got hypocrisy. And Patrick Bet-David calling it out live. No sugarcoating. Let's immediately jump into this debate between Patrick Bet-David and this woke founder of Ben & Jerry's.
very long list.
Did you vote for him?
No.
You voted for Kamala.
Yeah.
Did you vote for Biden?
I think so.
Okay. So you voted for Biden. You think Trump would have stopped the war if he was president, but then you still voted for Kamala. What prompted you want to vote for Kamala over Trump, even though you know he could stop the war?
You know, in general, I think a big part of what I believe is that I think there's a real lack of compassion. I think there's a lack of honesty.
Can you be specific? You can't just say that and not give me specific. You got to be pretty specific. What do you mean by lack of compassion and dishonesty? Because Kamala Harris always tells the truth, and we know Joe does. Always, they never lie. But what do you think with Trump?
I just think there's a long list of things that he's lied about that I don't have off the tip of my tongue. And I think, you know, I believe strongly in racial justice, and okay. I don't think that Trump does.
Racial justice?
Yeah.
He was the first guy that did the prison reform that even Van Jones went and stood behind him crying, saying, "I cannot believe this just happened." He did that.
What? This was the first.
Oh yeah, you don't remember that? Do you remember that or no?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody that's about, you know, the racial injustice side, it's Trump. It's not, you know. This is a guy that's done a very good job in that. But I want to know specific from your side. What is it? Because you're not when you're as successful as you are, you can't wing answers. You cannot wing answers. Now, let me tell you why you can't wing answers. Because how many? Like, if I was to check right now, Rob, can you go to ChatGPT? How many businesses in America went from $0 to $1 billion in revenue? Okay. So if we go, how many businesses go from $0 to $1 billion in revenue?
I mean, yeah, this is classic Patrick Bet-David. Laser focused on facts. I love how he's holding this guy accountable. Like, dude, you built $1 billion company, but yet you're sitting here just winging it on national TV. Patrick Bet-David's got a point. Success takes precision, not vague half answers.
Everybody's okay. The exact number. Fast growing. I want to know how many total companies is what I want to know. Can you see that? How many total companies have gone from $0 to $1 billion in revenue? Okay. It's got to be a big number. I don't know if they have the number or not. It's got to be a lot of them. Okay. You build the number one ice cream company in America. Yeah, you can say luck. You're very creative. Just right now you did that. You know, your mind is a creative mind to come up with certain things. You can't just say lies and certain things and not be specific. I guess maybe the question is better to ask you the following way. Who inspired you politically when you were younger? Like, who was your hero when you were a kid?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King? He was your hero?
Yeah.
Why was he your hero?
Because he was fighting for justice and, you know, fighting for people who had been oppressed and screwed. And and he was a very, a really inspirational leader.
He was an inspirational leader to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Was there a book that you read? Was there something that influenced your politics? Did you read Communist Manifesto?
No.
You've never read Communist Manifesto? I've read the book.
How is it?
You've never read it?
No.
Ben.
What can I say?
Okay, all right. Well, listen, you're missing
you read
out,
what
buddy.
you read. I was probably reading ice cream books.
I think if you read Communist Manifesto, you may go to communism. I mean, you're one step away from socialism. But was there anything? Was there anything?
I want to know why you're so. I mean, socialism is a word that gets used to refer to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so I think the old or official definition of socialism is that the state owns all the means of production. I mean, I don't favor that. But I
favor 80% taxes.
Marginal tax rate. Yeah.
So you think, let's process that. I'm actually curious to know what you'll say here. So when somebody like you says 80% taxes, you know what you're really saying? You think the U.S. government can do better with our money than we can do with our money.
I'm with Patrick Bet David 100% here. Like, who really trusts the government to spend their money better than they can? Especially when Patrick Bet David just reminded us how these guys blow cash on nonsense. It's like handing your paycheck to a toddler and hoping for the best.
That's what you're saying? You think Congress and Senate can do better with our taxpayer money than we can?
Well, if you had a marginal tax rate of 80% on the, millionaires and above, you wouldn't have so many people with so much money that were influencing our elections and our legislation in order to make it better for their own selves. So, yeah, I think that it would certainly decrease the spread between rich and poor. And, how much? And I think, you think about education, you think about childcare, you think about health care.
Yeah.
These are things that, especially things like Medicare for all, it needs to be, some things need to be done by the government.
Okay, so let me get this straight. And so just 10 minutes ago, you are speaking to the audience who is loving watching you, and you showed how much the government wastes money. Then 10 minutes later, you say you trust our money going to the government, that they'll do a better job than staying in our pocket. Do you know the average person watching this? They're so confused right now. They're about to have a drink right now. That's a confuser. You just confuse the shit out of them. They're sitting there saying, so let me understand you, man. I really want to understand you. I like you. I eat your ice cream. You seem like a really nice, and you sincerely seem like a nice guy. And I'm really enjoying this. How can you 1 minute say the government wastes money and next minute say let's pay more money because we think they can do a better job with it?
Because I think that both things are true.
It doesn't work that way.
I think about my own business. As Ben and Jerry's was getting larger and larger, I was saying, we're wasting all this money. This thing is wrong, that thing is wrong, it's leaking over here, it's, there's something that's not working right over there. I couldn't believe how much money was being wasted.
Okay.
And then I came to understand that, there's some waste in most anything that human beings do.
Oh, but there's one tricky thing here. Why do you think you were overly protective of the money that was being wasted? Why?
Because I needed to make a profit.
Because it's your money.
Well,
it's your money. That's why. Because you busted your ass to make that money to create jobs. So now imagine These guys are spending $90,000 on a bag of washers that at Lowe's I can buy for $329. Okay, you want me to trust them to raise taxes? Hell to the no. When I see Doge and I see the money stuff that comes back, you know what I tell myself? How soon are you guys lowering taxes? Because you guys have no clue what you're doing with our money. That's what it makes me think about. Why would I give you more money that you have shown over and over again that you like to waste it? Because, so you give them more money. You don't think there's going to be more military contractors? You don't think there's going to be more big pharma coming in wanting contracts for people to get unhealthy so they can sell $100 billion of vaccines so Pfizer's revenue goes up $100 billion? You think COVID helped that Pfizer?
Patrick Bet David just mopped the floor with this one. Like, you can't come onto Patrick Bet David's show, push these surface level woke talking points, and think you won't get called out. The guy is sharp, relentless, and always pushing for facts over fluff. And that's why, honestly, we need more people like Patrick Bet David keeping it 100% real in these conversations. But who do you guys think won? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and take care.